Yes, people, we've got something special for you. This is Everything Boxing, a brand new show beyond the ropes. My name's Melissa Zad, and I am joined by the better looking and the smarter of the Lar brothers, Sir Laurie.
Make sure you check us out on DR Sports every week.
Moses Atama versus Jermaine Franklin.
What happens when he gets hit squarely on the chin?
He's ducking Usyk. He's not taking the big fights, this, that, and the other.
The heavyweight division right now is as stacked as it's ever been.
This man has not fought more than 10 minutes since July of 2024.
Hi, I'm Dr. Andre from Oxford Natural. If you're looking to make a change, improve metabolism, energy, sleep, take Optimum Day and Optimum Night. These...
Let's go! What do you do with yours? I do unlimited football content.
Well, I do unlimited bragging.
Well, I do unlimited swiping right.
Well, I do unlimited doom scrolling.
Well, I do unlimited sliding into the DMs.
Well, I do watching TikTok on the bus without headphones unlimited.
Oh, God.
Hello guys, welcome back to Live at 5. As you can see, we're sponsored by Rocket Mobile. So if you want to get involved, it's unlimited calls, texts, and 20 gigabytes of roaming data. There's loads of perks and other things involved and prizes. So you know what to do. There's a link in the description. There's a link in the chat as well. But also, there's a QR code on the screen. So make sure to scan that to get yourselves involved. We've got a great panel today. Obviously, I'm not Dylan. Big up to Dylan. Dylan, unfortunately, is sick. But I'm here with Laurie. Big up, Uncle Laurie.
Good.
good?
I'm good, man. How you doing? Don't forget, check out LL Sports TV. The copy's there. Bit of free promotion. But listen, man, show some love. Like, share, subscribe, watch the videos.
And I've also got FJ with me. Big you up.
Thank you.
You don't seem as perky today.
I'm not happy now. I'm not happy.
What's going on?
It's been a funny couple days, you know, with the news coming out about Salah, the reaction.
No Salah.
Is this your first show since we've been
Yeah.
Okay,
The first,
talk about it.
it's the first show since Salah, but yeah, the reactions behind the scene, the Liverpool fans, even football fans, how they're reacting to it. I've been seeing how everyone's reacting to it, and is kind of disappointed. I think disappointed. The most slander on the most legendary player ever. It's crazy.
Well, you know what? I didn't know that this was your first show about Mo Salah. Let's talk about Mo Salah, because obviously he puts out this video, which obviously I'm an Arsenal fan, but when I watched it, I was like, wow, it's quite a moving video of him saying how he will be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. This is his last season at Liverpool. Say what you want, the guy's a legend of Liverpool and the Premier League.
A legend of what?
Don't you start. He is a legend of
World
of
champion
Liverpool
of what?
and the Premier League.
No, jokes.
And obviously for Liverpool fans, it must be... It's obviously it's not been a great season for him, but it's obviously heartbreaking when you've got a figure like that saying that they're moving on.
Yeah, no, it is heartbreaking. Even though we saw this coming from a long time ago, everyone knew that one day he would leave Liverpool. That doesn't mean that we're ready for it, you know. I see some Liverpool fans talking about the timing, that this is the right time for him to leave. There's no right time for the best player in the Premier League ever to leave your club, you know. So, like, a wise one once told me, good things in life never last forever. Is that right? Yeah. Good things in life never last forever. Mo Salah is crazy.
A wise man once also told me that Father Time remains undefeated, and that's what's happened to your boy Salah.
But what he done over the last couple of years basically scrapped that quote, because the last couple of years
that quote is that quote. Father Time is undefeated.
Yeah, but he's
that's not a slight on Mo Salah, by the way.
But he's shown that it doesn't matter how old. Like, he's 34 now, turning 34 now, and he's had crazy last 5 years. His performance at high level last 5 years. Father Time, okay, cool. When does Father Time start kicking in? After 30?
It's biologically it happens differently with different people.
100%. But he's shown that he's literally an oiled machine, that he's been still running, still scoring goals. Still, they say, he's football beauty is not as good as other people like Henry and whatever the weather, but it's not about the beauty, you know. A wise man once told me, don't be fooled by the beauty.
How many wise men have you been?
Maybe if you
With the
listen to
amount
a
of
wise man,
men
you
that
would've thought
you
about
run
Mo
into,
Salah.
you should be living in some kind of
Yeah, it's true.
island on
It's
your
true.
own.
But so, you got, you know, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. So I listen more than I speak. You know, so I do listen to these wise men, and the wise man, I do listen to them. And the wise man told me, don't be fooled by the beauty. You know, don't be fooled by the
All
beauty.
that glitters is not gold, yeah?
Thank you. All that glitter is not gold. Thank you. You know.
But you know what I would say though, right? And you know, it goes without saying really. Mo Salah is without doubt one of the greatest players ever
the
to play in the
greatest.
Premier
Please
League.
stop. The greatest. The greatest
Well,
player in the
it's
Premier League.
subjective, but in my view anyway, I think most people would opine one of the greatest players ever to play in the Premier League, one of the outstanding African footballers of all time.
Best
The
African
accolades are numerous.
Best
You
African
can't-
football. Best African football player.
Subjective, but he's definitely in the conversation. But what I would say is this, and this is my opinion, yeah, and I say this respectfully with love. The version of Mo Salah that we're seeing at the moment has quite noticeably depreciated on what we've seen in previous seasons, and I would say that
That's a compliment.
no, it's
Ask
just
me
facts.
why. Ask me
It's
why.
just facts.
Ask me
It's
why
just-
it's a compliment.
Because it happens to all the great players, man.
No, no,
everybody.
you don't.
Otherwise, Pele would still be playing now.
No,
you
but
know what I mean?
it's a compliment because you're saying that this is one of Salah's worst seasons for Salah.
Yeah.
But if you look at all the other wingers in the Premier League, what's their numbers like? They got the
Okay,
same-
yeah,
they got the same
you're right.
number- They
You're
got the
right.
same numbers
But
as
all I'm-
Salah,
no,
and this
but-
is his worst season.
All right. But what I'm saying is, to me, and I know you're going to disagree with me,
Never.
but this is the beauty of football, is that I think the timing of him announcing his move is perfect because you're preparing yourself now for him moving on at the end of the season. He needs to move on, in my opinion, because he's not the same guy that he was a year or two ago, and that's not sustainable moving forward, neither for Liverpool or for him. So I think it's the best for both parties.
The timing.
The timing is right.
But a wise man once told me that.
Another wise man.
Another wise man once told me that you either live long enough to become a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. You
be a
know.
hero at Liverpool.
And he's lived long enough, and it looks like the blame is going on Salah. The performance is going on Salah. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. Salah's performance. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
So with the outburst that he had after the Leeds game, it looks like there's a little light above the things that he was saying about the ownership, about how Liverpool are treating him, about throwing him under the bus, about trying to get him out. Yeah. Now we can actually see why he came out and spoke about what's happening, because you don't treat legends like this. You don't treat legends like
How's
this.
he been mistreated?
100%, 100%. They pushed him out.
I see both ways in the sense that, like, I do think Mo Salah's been scapegoated to a degree by the ownership, in the sense of, look at this guy, we've given him 400k a week and he's not turning up. But I also do see it from the sense of, like, hold on a second, Virgil ain't turning up, Konate ain't turning up, Florian Wirtz ain't turning up, Isaac ain't turning up. Why is it just me? And I think when you got someone who for many seasons has carried you, we saw last season that, if we're being honest, Mo Salah won you the league. Do you know what I mean? Everyone else kind of chipped in. He won you the league. He was absolutely brilliant. He had one of the best seasons we're ever going to see from a player. It's like, does he not get a bit more respect than that? It was like, as soon as he had a bit of a dip in form after having this incredible season in all competitions, let's be honest, it's like, you see ex-legends like Jamie Carragher coming out and cussing him basically on Monday Night Football. You see articles being written about him, and it's like, absolutely you can criticise someone, but there should be a level of grace for that level of player. Do you know what I mean? And he wasn't given that grace or respect, if we're being honest.
Generational player.
I think that the depreciation had been evident for
When did he depreciate? When?
Come on, man.
It's just this season.
No, it's not.
When then?
Towards the end of last season. He was
Yeah, but last season we've won the league.
Okay, fine.
We've like everything. The motivation is. I'm still upset that Salah didn't go for that record, the 20 assist record. Even though we missed a lot of chances,
I think
we won the league already.
Pain, yeah, but I mean, and I was similar with Henry. Sometimes it's hard as fans.
No, it's different. One left. No, it's different. One left to win something, and one left because of something different. You know.
Sometimes as fans, it's hard for us to come to terms with a player that you idolise pretty much. Just really not that guy anymore. It happens, man. That's life. It's a cycle. Right?
It's just one season.
Because they've got that phrase, another wise man, the king will come along with
You guys and these wise men.
Somebody else will come along and fill that void in time.
Yeah.
It's just, this is
I mean,
Mo Salah's time in the Premier League, to me, has come and it's pretty much going. It's not gone.
Yeah,
it's
I
going.
agree.
Everyone said it was
I think
gone already
sometimes
2 years
you have
ago.
to approach that twilight stage of your career with grace and humility and honesty. So what he did,
Yeah.
threw his toys out the pram earlier on.
He just-
He didn't throw his toys out the pram.
I do think in that sense, the way he went about that was like, yo, man, come. I think you even saw Sabozlai after that game being like, right, yeah, we might be having things behind the scenes, but it's not for us to come into the media and say. And we saw already, basically, the first journalist you saw, he started yapping his gums to, basically. And I feel like when your club's going through a really hard period, like Arne Slot and Liverpool were going through at that time, as someone who's a senior player, part of probably that captain group, was that really the right thing to do, to go out and say? I'm not saying that players can't express how they feel, but it could have been done in a more thought out way.
Personally, I'm a opinionated. Like, I will let you know what it is. I'll rather him. I'll rather our greatest player come out and tell us what's happening.
Yeah.
Than just waking up and realizing, oh, this is what happened. Then he's trying to explain himself, but he's giving us a heads up about what's happening behind the scenes, and I'll rather him do that.
Yeah.
You know, like Mo Salah's given me the greatest memories.
Yeah, of course.
Gerrard gave me crazy memories. But Mo Salah made me, crazy memories. And you can't write that off.
Now it's more of what happens after Mo Salah. So what do you expect your club to do? Because the reality is, I think one thing that Liverpool, got wrong last season in the summer is that they kind of went against the Liverpool way.
Oh, the spending.
The Liverpool way was almost, right, we're going to go and get someone who's kind of obscure or someone that right now no one's really talking too much about, and we're going to make them into a star type of thing. We saw, Sadio Mane kind of had that great season at Southampton, but he was still someone that, he wasn't a big
Still
name.
raw.
He's still raw.
Yeah.
Mo Salah, he's over in Roma, and, it didn't really go well in the Prem, but we're going to bring you back and you're going to have your redemption arc with us. Do you know what I mean? Whereas this season, you kind of went into it like, Isaac, bang.
No, we went for it. We went for it.
And you
Like,
went for it.
it.
I think one thing about you guys, you go back and you look at those really amazing moments and you're like, wow, it was, Gini Wijnaldum, it was flipping Oxlade-Chamberlain, kind of like these niche players that maybe a lot of people at the time didn't really respect enough.
It's like everyone had their
Turn them
role.
into something,
Everyone
yeah.
had their role. Everyone's chipping in. Everyone's doing what they need to do to help. Like the star players, like Sabozlai last season was doing things to help out Salah.
Yeah.
Henderson was doing stuff in his role to help out Salah.
You had unglamorous players.
People, literally. But what I expect now is that the 250 million plus that we spent last summer, they're going to be handed the keys now, So when Salah leaves, he's going to hand the keys over to Isaac,
Does that
Ekatike,
not worry you, though?
Wirtz. It don't worry me because these lot are fantastic. It does worry me because no one can cover Salah.
Yeah, of course.
Like, no one.
Speaks
No
to the
one
field.
in this world.
Whoa.
No one in this world can do. Salah created a world where wingers can score 20 plus in a season.
Yeah.
He created a world that wingers can become top goal scorers. He created
It was a phenomenal.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell us.
no, because some people forget that before Salah was here, there's no such thing as 20 goals a season from a winger. There's no such thing as a 20-goal winger season, So him doing that, he just created a world for all these guys to come in and just GA, and he just made GA at a different level, But I expect the signings that we had last summer to come and take the keys off Salah, and hopefully push for next season. Obviously, we're going to go back into the transfer market. We do need a winger. We do need wingers. We need wingers now because the only wingers that we got is Gakpo and Kaiser.
Yeah, which both ain't really, and Rio, really.
Rio, I'm sorry. But yeah, and we need better wingers, number one. No disrespect to my guys. Better wingers. We need to strengthen our defence, probably strengthen our midfield, 1-2 bodies.
You guys need a lot. I
You
think
need
you guys are in a weird.
You need a man.
You're in a weird.
And
You
we
need
need a manager as
you
well.
might need a manager.
I'm seeing a lot of speculations about Alonso.
Yeah, Xabi Alonso is
Alonso
his agent
No,
coming
you know
out and
what?
saying
I
that
think
stuff.
It's a little bit more than speculation. I think he will be come next summer.
So
Actually,
you can
not
look
next
at it.
summer.
You can
I
look
think
at it
Arne
as
Slot
it's a new
is-
slate. It's a new slate. Salah
Yeah.
leaving, Slot
Bit of a new
leaving.
era.
It's like a new era now, But those boots are too big to fill, man.
Nah, that's
You
something.
say that, but you never know who could step up to be that.
What?
beat.
Please, I want to be wrong. I want
Yeah.
to be so wrong, you know. But I think we're gonna go for like wingers like Diamande, like go for
Yeah.
the pacey wingers, go for like threats. But we're gonna get wingers that we don't expect them to get like 20 goals or 50.
Yeah.
Double. I don't mind 10 goals, 10 assists. Double. That's what people were happy with before Salah came.
Yeah.
Double, 10 goals, 10 assists. Saka can't even get 10 goals, 10 assists these days, you know.
He's already got that.
Huh?
I'm sure he's already got that.
Oh, you sure? Yeah. Nah, I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, Salah, man. There's some people in this life that, generational talent.
Yeah, man.
Generational talent.
Well, you're not the only club that's going through changes. Let's talk a bit about Spurs. Because I don't know if you guys saw Igor Tudor, via mutual consent, left his job. Yeah. He didn't win a single... In fact, he won a game against Atletico Madrid.
Against Liverpool?
He drew against Liverpool.
my
That was the only point he picked up as a Premier League manager, losing all the other games, which goes to show how dreadful the record was. But obviously, he's gone through a family bereavement himself, so obviously we send our condolences. He lost his father, which obviously is very sad. But he's walked away from the job, and now Spurs are back to square one. They don't have a manager, they're fighting relegation, and the name that's popped up, Roberto De Zerbi, we all know about him. He used to be at Brighton, he was just at Marseille. Laurie, tell me, what do you think about this? Is this a good appointment? It's getting close.
I mean, ultimately, that will only be determined when their fate is decided in the Premier League. I mean, he's been bought in, or will be bought in, because he looks to all intents and purposes as he is the man who will get the job. I understand they're talking at the moment earnestly.
Yeah.
Now, listen, Robert De Zerbi is a good coach, does have a good reputation. Teams do play good football, but he does come with some baggage.
Yeah.
In that he's quite a combustible, quite a guy that, you know what I mean, he doesn't back away from confrontation. A lot of people out there are wondering whether his style, not so much his style of football, actually, even the style of football, some people are saying that is not required right now.
Yeah.
They just need somebody practical, pragmatic, come in and get the players galvanised and working in the same direction and stuff like that.
I just look at it, right, and I'm just like, this is how you know that this club has no idea about what they're doing. You're going to go and get Roberto De Zerbi, who in reality is a car crasher every club he's been at. I saw something today where they said he on average spends about 30 games at each club. Like, is that really... Yeah, that's literally 8 games less than a season. And I'm just like, is this really what you want? You've had someone like this before. His name was Antonio Conte, and we saw how that turned up in that press conference where he basically came out and just slated the whole club to leave. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just like, you've gone and got someone who really and truly is a very volatile figure. He's known to fall out with players. He's known to fall out with staff, with clubs. I mean, before he was at Marseille, he literally just... You know, it was a whole car crash. Even in the end, the sporting director even flipping resigned. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like...
Are you suggesting that he's somewhat toxic?
Yes, he is let's be real, he is a toxic figure. And then from what I remember when he was at Brighton, he was a manager in the sense they either won emphatically or they lost emphatically. There was no middle ground, really. And I just look at it like, how is this any... In terms of football, how's this really any different from Ange Ball? In terms of personality, how's this any different from having an Antonio Conte or a Jose, which really and truly the club doesn't work well with? It doesn't really make sense to me.
I think it'll be an upgrade on Tudor, and I'll tell you why. Because number one, he's managed in the Premier League before.
Yeah.
Which is something that Tudor never did. So that was one of the things that shocked me about Tudor. Why would you get a guy that has no knowledge of the Premier League other than what he's seen on TV?
Exactly.
At least De Zerbi's managed in the Premier League, and he's managed to a good level. He did well with Brighton. Yeah, he got a good respect from his exploits at Brighton. It's only, 8 games? So maybe even De Zerbi doesn't have enough time to go in there and implode.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think it's going to come down to whether the players respect him enough to give their all on the pitch, because... I must admit, I didn't see that with Tudor.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this as well. That is not just Tudor's fault, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I think some of those senior players at Tottenham, especially your likes of...
your Romero's and Van der Ven,
Jed Spence, people like that, like wholly unprofessional.
Yeah.
They should feel ashamed of themselves that they're in this position. So, yeah, I guess what I'm saying is De Zerbi's going to come in. He's going to have his own way of doing things. if the players respect him and gravitate towards him and decide that they're going to put a shift in, I still think they have enough quality to stay up. But it's whether a lot of it is down to the players, man.
Yeah.
Really and truly.
Looking at the next fixtures, they got Sunderland away, tricky. Then they got Brighton at home.
Yeah.
Then they got
Wolves away.
They got Wolves away.
Aston Villa away.
Massive.
Leeds at home, Chelsea away. And then after that, Everton at home. And I'm looking at all these games. There's some games that you say on paper are winnable, like Leeds and Wolves, but the reality is they've not won those games. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're sat here talking about a club that's won, 2 games at home all season. On form are actually the worst team in the league. Even your teams like your Burnleys, your Wolves are picking up points, are fighting for their lives. And I watch their games and I'm like, this team don't even fight.
Do you think they're going down?
I think that is a strong possibility, yeah.
At the moment, yeah, because you know what? At least with Leeds, at least with Forest, at least with West Ham, they got stable managers that actually know what they're doing. Victor Pereira knows what it is. He kept Wolves up last season. Nuno, he's been in and around that, knows what it's like to fight. Like, Daniel Farker knows what it's like to fight. And then them players as well, they've been in them relegation battles. Exactly. They know what it's like to even battle to try and come into the Premier League.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at some of these Spurs players, and I think most of them probably haven't even really deeped. Wow, we generally could be relegated.
Do they care?
That's a
See, with me, right? I'm a big believer in structure and leadership and stuff like that. I come from a corporate world, right? We all do to a certain degree, right? And we will appreciate that. If you're working for an organisation, a company, or any business that is well run from the top, you tend to find that transfers down to the bottom, and people respect it and they align with the values and the principles of the company, the organisation, the club, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With Tottenham, there's a real lack of leadership. They're rudderless.
Yeah.
And you get that on the pitch, you know what I mean? And what you're seeing there is, like Kenya alluded to, just a catalogue of bad decisions, rudderless leadership. And then you see that with the captains. So you get Romero, this man's supposed to be captain, and he's there tweeting about extraneous stuff. Yeah. I might not be here next. If a well-run club with a proper structure,
wouldn't allow that.
You would not even dream of that. And that's one thing that I would say about Arteta. He does have some of his. I know I'm segueing a little bit. He does have some of his things that he does. I don't always agree with, but Arsenal are an extremely well-run club, and that transfers to the way we are on the pitch.
Yeah.
You're not seeing that with Tottenham.
I even think, like, that's a good point that you brought up about, players' links away and stuff like that. I don't see one West Ham player at the moment talking about next season, or Forest players talking about next season. You watch Jared Bowen, who's a player that's linked away quite heavily, really, if West Ham are to go down, right? He's there, we're fighting every game, we're just trying to pick up points, do you know what I mean? And then you're seeing all these media links to other Spurs players. Romero, well, yeah, he still wants to go Atletico, and you're seeing rumours about some players wouldn't mind going down because then at least they could walk away. Like, that's not the mentality. And you just look at that team and I'm like, I can maybe name you maybe a few players that have the mentality. Archie Gray, a kid that actually knows what it's like to be in that space because he was at Leeds. Richarlison, because he was at Everton. I don't know, Matisse Tell, who's actually, trying to prove himself. Yeah. And I look at everyone else and they just don't seem bothered.
The captains are getting sent off game after game. To me, when you see that, that's just red flags.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you're the captain of a team, you have a responsibility to yourself, the teammates and the club. And you're getting sent off for silly things that, as an experienced pro, you should not be doing. Your first responsibility is to keep 11 men on the pitch, right? And you as a captain are getting sent off. And that has been repeated by Romero and Van der Ven.
Yeah.
But as we know,
that shown
Zerbi,
moments of recklessness when people should be looking towards them as the calming
leadership.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're a joke, man. Seriously.
Well, as we know that the Zerbi likes of football, the fluid football, the passing around. What is
that ain't gonna cut it, man.
So that's what I'm saying. So what's his aim of the game now? They've got 8 games left. What is he trying to do?
He's going to have to show another side of his management. I mean, this is one thing that I always say all the time. We often see with managers, they have one way of playing, and then sometimes it works and it's great, but you need to have something else up your locker. So for De Zerbi, this coming in and fast, fluent football and playing out from the back and this, nah. What you need is 11 players totally focused, fighting for each other, fighting for that shirt, willing to lay their life on the line, put themselves in front of the ball, you know what I mean?
Do you know what it is, though? I hear what you're saying, right? And I feel like the thing is, Igor Tudor came in with a different style of trying to play and it didn't work. And I'm just looking at the Spurs team like, could you trust them to really dig in and be like, right, we're going against the Spurs way, which is against maybe playing this really nice football. We're just going to low block it and try hit them on the counter. Like, I just don't know if they actually have that in them. Like, we've already seen Igor Tudor come in saying, right, we're going back three, we're going quite defensive and, you know, we're going to try and hold on to the ball and just get up the other end and score. But it's not really worked, has it? I mean, you think about it, we beat them 4-1. They lost 2-1 to Newcastle, 2-0 to United. Like, they've actually been getting battered. Really.
You know what it's comes
Even
down
though they've
to,
changed how they
in my
play.
humble opinion, it's not. It doesn't come down to like tactical diplomacy and nuancy. No, it's pretty straightforward what they need. They need to fight like hell for these 8 games. Every game is like a cup final where they've got to keep the error count.
Did you not see their bus parade? That's what I'm saying. Like, you see the fans, and you know what? You can actually maybe feel, well, I don't feel sorry for Spurs fans, but you can maybe feel a bit sorry for them. You see them coming out in colours. They've got flares going. They're cheering on the bus before that 6-pointer against Forest. And then you go to the game and your team gets smoked 3-0 at home against another team that's fighting relegation. Do you know what I mean? So you look at it and it's like, the fans are actually there supporting you in these really tough circumstances where, to be honest, Spurs fans have never experienced something like this before. So they're like, right, we've actually gotten up. And then you see your players like that just switching off the same issues all season. A corner straight away from Forest. Corners that have been their issue since last season.
I do think De Zerbi is a good manager. I do think he is capable of getting them out of it. But what I would say is this, is if I'd have been the decision maker at that club, I probably would have gone down the road of somebody's experience in that type of situation.
Yeah. Sean Dyche.
I would have gone for Harry initially.
Yeah, we said about
before
Harry.
it got this bad. But now we're in this predicament. I would have gone for a Sean Dyche, even a
Big Sam, mate.
Big Sam.
I know
like
that. I know that
knows
sounds.
how it
yeah.
is. This type of warfare that's required. Them man are skilled in that.
Yeah.
They've had experience of doing that. In life, nothing beats experience of doing something. Yeah? So you bring in a man that's experienced and knows certain things, knows certain players to play in certain situations, the tactics that just come natural to them in those situations. Bringing in a De Zerbi, who is known for a completely different style of football, I'm not so sure. But I do think, though, that he is a very intelligent manager. He is experienced. He is a strong character. So it's not like he'll be intimidated by the job. It's whether he can galvanise the players.
Deal with it.
And deal with it in that way. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting.
I mean, let's give the other side and let's give De Zerbi maybe a bit more credit in the sense that, like you said, he is quite a volatile figure. Maybe that's what those players need. Maybe they need someone that's actually just going to put fire up on them and say, yo.
Yeah, but I think Tudor
have...
tried that.
No, but I think with Igor Tudor, like, he kind of came off a bit soft, don't you think? Like, even in his press conferences, he came off a bit soft and...
To me, he came over as a bit irrelevant. You know what he reminded me of?
He came across as someone
FJ
that,
will know
do
about
I
this
respect this
because he's
person?
in that profession. He reminded me of, you know, back in, and this, I'm going back a long way now, but I'm sure it applied to you guys as well. Your teacher that normally teaches your maths class, they're like away for a few weeks. And then you bring in a
Supply teacher.
And the supply teacher, instead of coming in and trying to get on with the students, they're trying to come in and lay down the law. What do you think is going to happen when they know that you're only there for a few weeks? They're going to say,
I lie.
what you have to do is come on board and, you know what I mean, engage with your students or your team, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And get them to rally behind you rather than them coming in and thinking, who's this guy, man? He's not even managing the Premier League. He's trying to lay down the law. He's trying to this tough guy. We're not on it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
But again, I stress, it's not just Tudor.
Yeah, it's not.
The same
It's
thing
the players as well.
Thomas Frank.
Yeah.
Thomas Frank's going up to certain man after the end of a game and then man are ignoring him.
Yeah.
Showing a man blatant disrespect.
That's
So
him.
if they can do that in public, FJ and Kenya, what do you think they're doing in the team talks? When Thomas Frank's doing his team talk, they're probably doing this.
Exactly. Well, that's why I said.
Probably on their phone.
That's why I said,
messaging
for me,
whoever.
I don't understand why. And obviously, a lot of Spurs fans now have kind of maybe woken up a bit. But that's what I was saying at the time. When Romero put out that thing about cussing the board and the club, I'm like, why are we acting like this guy's not been here for years? He signed a new contract in the summer, so he knows what the reality is. Everyone knows what Spurs is like. Spurs is a very sustainable club. They don't want to break a wage structure. They just want to maybe have the really good feel moments, but they're not really trying to compete for anything, right? No. They just want to be we're here type of people, right? So I'm like, Christian Romero had an opportunity to leave in the summer to go to Atletico Madrid. Decided actually I'd rather stay at Spurs and sign a new contract. Now that things are going bad,
why I did that?
you're putting out tweets. Yeah, this club, blah blah. Let's not pretend this guy actually cares, because this is someone who's constantly getting himself sent off, getting himself suspended in big games. Should be the leader in that quite young team, if we're being honest, and hasn't stepped up at all. And Spurs fans will be like, yes, my captain, he's putting out tweets. Yes, my captain, he knows. No, he signed up for this. He actually knows what your club's about. He's not like maybe a Mickey van der Ven who's come from a different country and, said, right, this is a big club in London, I want to sign up for them. And he's looked at it and said, actually, nah, I'm not about this. This is someone in Christian Romero who's been around for a couple of years now, and knows what he's played with Harry Kane and Son, and he knows the realities of a Spurs, but he signed up for it.
I reckon that there was financial incentives, allegedly.
Yeah, probably.
Behind that signing. And he's realised another year into the project, he's thinking, you know what, even though I'm getting a bag, I'd rather go to Spain. Plus, you're talking about a guy, he's a good player, very good player.
Yeah, he is.
A World Cup winner, and he knows that he is very marketable out there. He knows that if he leaves Spurs, there'll be a whole host of clubs, even Premier League clubs that would want him.
Yeah.
So he's doing what he's not stupid, man. He's doing what he's doing, knowing
advertising.
That his future is pretty much taken care of. And that's the same for Van der Ven. That's the same for quite a few of those guys. If Spurs go down, them man ain't going to be playing in the Championship.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm just reading the comments. This guy Olympia, I'm guessing he's a Spurs fan. He said, I don't want Dyche or Allardyce. I want someone like Mason. So I'm guessing that's Ryan Mason. Ryan Mason or Ange, someone who inspires the club. And look, I just think
No, but they've had Ange. They've had Mason.
That's my thing about Spurs fans, right? I actually understand. Nobody really wants to say they want to have a big Sam or a Sean Dyche because it's not attractive. But the reality is you're in that situation and you just need someone for a short while to get you out.
Yeah, because we all know the thing.
Exactly.
Pochettino will be manager next summer.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
But they're trying to stay in the Premier League. It'll be interesting, by the way, if they do go down, if Pochettino still takes a job. But anyway, in the interim, right, they need somebody to come in, right, and just, you know what I mean? At the moment, I've got a problem with my hot water. So I just need somebody, a plumber. I don't need the best plumber in the world, I just need a plumber that knows his stuff to come in and get my hot water restored. Then I can think about long-term what I need to do. Do I need a new system? You know what I mean? Yeah. I just need a plumber that's competent to come in, get my hot water running properly, and then move on to the next one. That's a bit like Tottenham. They need somebody to come in, he's competent, knows his thing, keep them up, and then they go again next summer. Because I don't think... Well, do you guys think Zerbi will be there if he keeps them up?
No.
It makes sense if he stays.
But from what we're hearing, Pochettino is pretty much signed, sealed, but not yet delivered.
It's weird because, like, if you're going to sign Zerbi on 5 years, surely you're thinking he's going to be the one for the future. But then... Like, I still think it's so strange. Like, what happens if you sign Zerbi and you actually do go down? Would he? I don't even think
maybe they sign. Maybe that's one of the reasons why the talks are so protracted. Because maybe part of that conversation is, what if we do go down?
Yeah.
Are you prepared to stick around and try and take them? Zerbi might be thinking to himself, you know what? Even though I don't really want to manage in the Championship, but if I can bring this big club back to the Premier League.
Also, he might be getting paid a lot.
Plus on my CV.
Yeah, he might be getting paid a lot as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, to be fair to Spurs, they've kind of looked at it this season and been like, right, we need reinforcements. They went and got Conor Gallagher and broke their wage bill for him. Do you know what I mean? So they might be looking at like, Roberto De Zerbi, we're actually willing to give you much more than we probably would have given a Thomas Frank, etc.
I do think if they get De Zerbi, even though, like I said, I guess I'm contradicting myself slightly. I do think if they get De Zerbi, I do think he has the capability of keeping him up, because I'm impressed by his managerial ability. I'm impressed by his the way his teams play football, although that football is not going to cut it right now. But if he can improvise, if he can come up with a way of, you know what I mean, making them, you know what I mean, at least not as beatable
Yeah.
as they are now. Just get them over the line. I think from a future point of view, he could well be a good appointment for them.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Exactly. Well, we'll have to see in it about Spurs, but it looks like Roberto De Zerbi will be joining Spurs. It's just waiting for the here we go, I guess, from Fabrizio Romano and from Spurs. But you know what? I want to talk about something because there's two Arsenal fans here. Let me just take my presenter hat on, right? International break. So Arsenal, this international break, have withdrawn 10 players, right? I'm going to try and get a list up. 10 players this international break, and it's come under a lot of scrutiny, a lot of hate, a lot of people saying, oh, how are they doing that? I mean, before we say anything, FJ, you are a professional Arsenal hater. You might as well get it out now.
I don't hate on Arsenal, number one.
Yes, you do.
I know. Why would I hate on Arsenal? I don't need
Come
to
on, bro.
I don't hate on Arsenal. Obviously, there's two sides. There's two sides to it. Obviously, it makes sense. You guys got a big campaign chasing the title, so it makes sense to keep all your players fit. What did I see? Is it Madueke that's got like a knee brace? Or something like that,
he's got a knee brace on.
Stuff like that, you're trying to avoid it. So it makes sense that you're going to recall as many players as you can, so they're ready. And
I've got a list here. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
I've got
go
a
ahead.
list here. So these are the players that have withdrawn: Gabriel Magalhaes, William Saliba, Urian Timber, Eberechi Eze, Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, Noni Madueke, Pierre Hincapié, Leandro Trossard, and Zubimendi. That's the list so far, obviously.
and that's the main hitters.
Yeah, and that's basically,
main hitters.
really and truly, that is the starting 11. That is all those players would start.
It does make sense as well, and especially that we got FA Cup this weekend. It makes sense, but you lot are dirty cheaters, dirty cheaters.
What? How are we
dirty,
cheaters?
dirty,
How are we cheaters?
dirty.
Okay,
you,
how
know,
are
you guys know you're cheating. Why are you guys doing that? Everyone
Doing
else
what?
let the players go to international. break.
No, but some of those players actually played. So Pierre Hincapié played for Ecuador.
Mm-hmm.
He actually pulled up in the game. That's why he's come back.
There's another game. They've got another game.
Yeah, but he's pulled up. He pulled up with a hamstring issue.
Oh, apparently.
It's actually seen in the game. Urian Timber was already injured. Eberechi Eze is already injured. Do you know what I mean? So
Everyone's
some of
injured
those, and then as well, you've got Thomas Tuchel coming out saying Saka and Rice really wanted to play, but apparently they had a lot of discomfort. So what's the point of risking it? I don't see the issue.
No, it makes sense though. It does make
see the
sense.
issue.
Like, it does. As you guys got the Premier League and you guys are dying to win this Premier League finally, it does make sense. But yeah, in hindsight, other people are saying that these Arsenal fans are cheaters, dirty cheaters. The players, why they're not playing international, why they're not. But we've still got a big FA Cup weekend as well. So even Liverpool fans, we're thinking. But look what PSG done. PSG's changed their fixtures as well.
They're right into the league.
Yeah,
saying,
no. So they changed their fixtures as well, so they can, so their players can be fit.
Yeah.
So their players
But
can be fit for the Champions League. It's crazy.
My issue is I don't know why people are acting like Arsenal invented doing this when Pep's been doing this for seasons upon seasons. Sir Alex Ferguson used to do this. Do you know what I mean? Real Madrid and Barca have done this.
10 players.
I mean, look at, so for example, right? I always go back to the last international break. We let Gabriel go and he literally pulled his hamstring and he was out for so many important games. You look at Rafinha, he's played in a meaningless friendly against France and he's pulled his hamstring. He's going to miss the next 6 games. Like, do you know what I mean? You don't want to be saying like...
It's not meaningless though, it's caps.
It's meaningless. It's a friendly.
It's not meaningless, it's caps.
It's a friend. So, for example,
People die for
Ricardo
caps.
Calafiori for us, who's a very injury-prone player, we've said, yeah, go play for Italy because we know that Italy are trying to get into the World Cup. Same with Victor Gyökeres. We know Sweden want to get into the World Cup. Go and play. Like, that's fine. But I'm just like, if we can avoid having our biggest players getting injuries in a meaningless game that means nothing, like literally nothing, then I don't necessarily have an issue with that.
No, it makes sense, but...
I have an issue with
What's the
it.
point
No,
of doing...
I absolutely agree with Kenya. I mean, Arsenal would be remiss not to do what they're doing. Isn't it? I mean, it would be foolhardy. It's not like, okay, there are some games coming up. I'm not sure if they're involving the Arsenal players where, you know, they need to win in order to progress to the World
well,
Cup.
the
But
ones
that's not
that
the
are
same for England, though, is it?
Yeah, the ones that have basically pulled out, all of them are secured to go to the World Cup.
Already.
Yeah, all of their team. We're talking England, Ecuador, the
Sweden are
Netherlands.
still-
Yeah, whereas like that's why I'm saying Victor Gyökeres is actually on international duty. So is Ricardo Calafiori because they actually are trying to get into the World Cup. Obviously, Martin Odegaard isn't there because he's not fit enough to be with Norway. But I don't really have an issue with it. I don't know why everyone's like crying about it. Like, oh my God, you have 10 players out. But yeah, Eze missed a final. Like, let's not pretend. Do you know what I mean? Eze and Urian Timber missed a final for us because they weren't fit. It wasn't,
I've seen Roy Keane's come out like chatting, bro. You're talking about pulling out games. Saipan?
Yeah.
Shall we go into that?
Yeah, should we go into
there's a film out there now detailing what happened in there. But I'm not going to go there. But in all seriousness, why, like Kenya said, if it's a pretty meaningless friendly, other than them accumulating another cap, which, okay, fine. They're going to get
people will die for the cap. They will die for the cap.
Guys are going to get more caps, bro. Come on.
But I
mean,
like...
a little while ago, people were saying Ben White was out in the wilderness and will never play again. Not only did the man play the other day, but he scored the goal. Come on now. If you're good enough to play for England, you will get more caps.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So Arsenal would have been remiss of them not to do what they're doing now, because they're in the hunt for 3 trophies. You're coming into a crucial part of the season. We're already suffered from injuries and things like that. Why would you let these guys go and play fairly, if not meaningless games that, you know, in terms of significance, it's not that. Come on now.
Can I ask you a question, right? When you watch or when you hear your players have played international, don't you want them to be like, oh yeah, come off?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So how is that really any different? Like, don't get me wrong. When Saka and that play for England, I'm happy. But I'm just like, yo, get him off. Get somebody else on if necessary. Why is Saka having to play 90 minutes for England when really and truly you've called up Jared Bowen and Noni Mad and all these other players? Do you know what I mean?
So why do they have to play and he doesn't have to play?
No, that's not what I'm saying. But we're also looking at, let's say, Saka for an example. We're looking at a player that's constantly played for England, like almost always. I remember when Southgate was in, Southgate coming out saying, yeah, Saka said that he's not really feeling that great, but I'm so happy that he's kind of played through this injury to play for England. And it's like, bro, in a really a meaningless game where maybe, I don't know, somebody else could have played, where we know he's not 100%. What's the point?
For the season that guy's having, he must be... I'll stay quiet about Saka anyway. For the season that he's having and no one speaks about him, that's crazy. I'll stay quiet anyway. That's
what
another
no one
day.
speaks. People do speak about it.
It's been a poor season.
Yeah, it has been a really poor season.
Poor season from him, and no one
Absolutely.
speaks about it. But you
What
guys
do
are
you mean
top of the
nobody
world.
speaks about it?
You're dying till you've been making
Go
that
on then.
point now.
Go on then, get it out. Go on, get it out.
But what you're failing to realise is that there's still some way to the end of the season yet. Saka could well play a very significant part in winning the league, winning the FA Cup and the Champions League. So listen, man.
3/3 of what?
How you want to do a...
Go on then.
for want of a better word, a D-word measuring contest. We can do that after the season's done and we'll see what's what.
He's had a poor season.
Because I know one thing for sure, he's going to win more this season than Salah. That's for damn sure.
To be honest, I think that guys should win more than one. If you guys don't win more than one.
We probably will.
Yeah, I think.
But Saka ain't winning nothing.
Huh?
Well, actually, they might win the FA Cup, but you got the small matter of Man City.
No, I don't know about that. If we beat Man City this weekend, then definitely go to FA Cup. See you guys at Wembley.
Actually, you still could win the Champions League, but it's very
likely.
It's hard to run.
It's very unlikely, isn't it?
The run.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the last couple of times we won the Champions League, our runs have always been hard.
Yeah.
We've never had a
But
easy,
what
smooth sailing.
I would say is, like, at the moment you've not been inspiring at all in other games.
No
so
way.
you look at it and you're just like, oh, I know. Although I watched PSG versus Chelsea and I was like, it's gonna sound crazy, especially in that first leg. They didn't really do anything, but every time they had their chance, they just scored. They're just so clinical. Yeah. Like, I think even Chelsea created more than they did in both legs, but because they're so clinical, they end up winning the game. And look at you guys, like, got
not promising. It's not promising at all.
You ain't got no like magic at the moment.
It's not promising at all. But talking about the managers, like Evil Tudor or whatever his name is, that the players are not playing for him and whatever. It's the same thing for Slot. I don't think really like the players are playing for Slot really.
Bro. Come on, bro.
I don't think that all the players have put their heart and soul.
I said to Doyle, if I was, and this is like as a fan, if I was a Liverpool fan and I saw some of Arne Slot's comments each week, I'd be so enraged. Like, some of the things he says in press conferences, I'm like, bro, you're not helping yourself. You're in a really tough place right now. And these are the comments you make, his starting lineups. Like, so for example, you beat Galatasaray. Why not play that team that beat Galatasaray against Brighton? You've put Cody Gakpo back in, who was shocking against
We
Brighton.
had that was 4 games on a bounce. Is it 5 games on a bounce? So we had Wolves. After Wolves, we had another game. Then after we had champs. Then we had Brighton. Then we had like 4 or 5 games on a bounce. So we had to. We had like 3 games in 1 week or something like that. We had like a midweek.
Yeah, but you could say that for almost every other team that's in the
Yeah,
Champions.
so you couldn't start the same lineup.
Why not?
You couldn't start the same lineup because obviously the legs, the fatigue of the players, you couldn't start the same lineup. But even that span of games there, the Tottenham, the Wolves game, Brighton game,
So like,
shocking.
I remember Flex. I watched Flex's channel, and he was saying about how, like, for example, Liverpool have been outrun in their last 4 games.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that, and I'm just like, when you've got a manager coming out every week, basically being like, well, I've only used 100 and something worth of my talent because the other part has been injured, or like we're not boring, but then for the last like 10 games, you've been some of the most boring teams to watch.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, come on, man. You can't, don't get me wrong, some of them players definitely need to step up. But I'm just like, also, your tactics, the way you set up in games, don't protect players. You've almost like thrown them out there to the wolves.
I just thought, like, even the way he plays football, the slot football, I don't like it. The way he plays,
it's not
decision
Liverpool, is
making,
it?
I don't like it. But that don't mean that I'm gonna walk away from him, you know. That don't mean I'm gonna walk away from him. If he gets sacked, thank you very much. You've done your thing, you know. Thank you very much. But I actually think that if he has a long run, Champions League run, if he had a long Champions
FJ,
League
give
run,
it up, man.
You don't think?
Aren't you
Is
worried?
he out the door? He's gone out the door already.
Aren't you worried?
Alonso will be your manager.
Yeah, I think you just need to accept it, bro.
And I
Because
think
you're
deep
moving
down,
back.
I think Slot knows it as well. You
Like,
see
he's
his
gone.
body language when he's giving his...
He's almost checked out.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see it.
But
he
this
ain't got that
like,
same
it's
energy.
so
he had,
like it's very, very, very sensitive because at this point right now, if he leaves, then the new man. Even I would think that Alonso's a risk as well.
Of course.
Alonso's
Yeah,
a
of
risk.
course he is.
Keeping Slot is a risk.
But who's a better manager, though? Be honest. Who looks like they'd be a better manager, despite Slot winning
what
the
is a
league
better,
last
like?
season?
What is a better manager? Like I can.
No, I'm saying you look at
I
Alonso.
I'd say
You look at Alonso and you look at Slot. You hear them talk. You see what they've done for their respective teams.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I know Alonso didn't have a great time at Madrid, but okay, give his best. What you saw at Leverkusen.
Yeah.
Then you saw what he did at Madrid, and then Slot his best at Liverpool.
But
you
what
know
is
what it
he?
is, right?
What is he
Who's the
playing?
man that inspires you going forward?
What is he playing in the Premier League?
No,
If
but
if Alonso comes and tries to do 3 at the back, is that system going to work in the Premier League?
Now, how do you know he's going to do that?
Because
That's why
that's his.
No, but one thing I would
change.
say about Xabi is that he's shown that he's tactically flexible. So he went to Real Madrid, and obviously he just had that incredible season at Bayer Leverkusen where he played that 3 at the back. And he went there and he goes, these lot don't have the facilities to play 3 at the
they
back. I'm
can't
going
do it.
4 at the back. I'm going compact. I'm just going to try and skate through. And you think about all the injuries they had. He looked at it like, right, although I've got Trent and I've actually got the means maybe to play like this back 3, wing back kind of system, I'm not even going to risk it, mate, because we don't have the facilities. Whereas I look at Arne Slot and he's almost persisted with this thing that doesn't work. He's not really tried enough. Like at one point you tried a diamond shape, you tried it for 1 game, didn't really bother after that. Like,
No, I think he changed it at that point to stop the leak. So at that point, he was going through the crazy rough patch. So I think he was switching it up, changing it up to stop the leak. We're conceding a lot of goals. So it did work at a point. We wasn't conceding the amount of goals we were conceding before, you know. But Alonso, come on, he's gone Real Madrid. It didn't work out. The tactics that he tried to implode onto the team, I don't know if it didn't work out or if the players didn't get in line with it, you know. I don't know. But I
would say, though...
Wait. I turned the TV on one day, and I'm seeing Trent. High, right wing, high. I said, wait, Trent is never going to beat his man. Trent's never going to do something Trent needs like the ball at his feet so he can see the whole pitch. I don't want to see Trent out wide, right. I said, no, if Alonso's doing this, then something's happening wrong. Something is wrong.
Okay, but what I would say, though, Alonso... I don't know, man. If it was me, right, as a Liverpool fan, and I'm given the chance of Alonso and Slot, I'm sorry, I'm going Alonso.
He's a risk,
what
man.
Do you think?
Yeah,
They're
I
both
think...
risks.
A wise man once said...
Oh, here we go. I like to get a man. I'm going to ban this, you know, this little wise man chat.
Is this the same wise man, or is it because I've never met a man that's come
That's got
across
so
so many
many
wise men as you?
Wise
Anyway,
men, you
carry
know.
on.
But a wise man once said, it's good to know, or is it damn to know? You can finish this off because sometimes I'm half asleep sometimes. Like it's good to know the
You can't
devil.
be that wise if you
It's
can't
good-
remember what you said.
No, it's so many wise words.
Yeah.
Some stick and some don't. But it's good to
The
know.
devil you know type thing. Is that what you're saying?
So yeah. It's good
okay.
to know the devil that you do know.
Nah,
the
not
devil that you
really.
don't
Not
know.
really.
100%.
I think Slot's already
Yeah, but what
become
if you get
tired
introduced
in
to
that
an angel?
And
That's the
risk.
reality.
That's the risk. We had
Yeah.
the angel last year.
Yeah, but now
we had the
but
angel
that was
last year.
last
Now
year.
Yeah,
look,
but now he's gone to the dark side, and you need to pattern
how
up.
quick?
Because the
what-
reality is, think of it like this: do you want to have another season like this next season? And the answer is no.
No,
know what it is,
I
right?
wanted
In
another season
football-
like last season,
Exactly.
but you never know.
So maybe you need
in
to look at
football,
it and be
there's
like,
two things you need to know, right? In football, number one, time is everything.
yeah,
And what happened 2 seasons ago has no relevance to what's going to happen next season. None.
It doesn't affect it.
Secondly, with the way football works, if you're not improving, if you're staying the same, or you're basically stagnating because other teams will just come and overtake you.
Yeah,
So Liverpool simply cannot afford to have another season like they're having this year.
100%. No one can.
Although I would say that, even though I said what I've said, you're still in a couple of competitions, aren't you? Like, You
Yeah.
can still qualify for Europe.
FA Cup
You can
champs.
still win the FA Cup, and you can still win the Champions League, although it's unlikely. So, but I think Slot will be there next season. Honestly, I don't.
I don't know. I agree with Uncles. I don't know if he's going to be there next season, or if he does, he starts the season and then
Christmas.
And I'm in a few
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp groups with a lot of Liverpool. Wouldn't say a lot, but quite a few Liverpool fans. Some of them you know.
Yeah.
And they're not just saying Slot out now. They've been saying it from way back.
They have been saying it, but I do understand.
Shout
I
out my
see
boy
where they-
Drifty.
I see what Drifty.
No, he's just one of them.
I don't know. I know.
Drifty
It is
and
though.
talent.
I hear where they
Them
coming
man
from.
there, hey.
Yeah, you know them, man. No ramping thing.
Yeah.
I hear
they
where
wouldn't
I hear where they're coming from, but I think they do know and they do understand it's not all Slot. It's not all on Slot's hands, But they got to understand that it's even another risk bringing another manager in that we ain't got a clue about. That don't.
They're willing to take that risk.
Yeah, but you also took a risk on Arne Slot at the time.
Yeah.
Because to be honest,
So
he
yeah,
was
so
he was in the
he's
Dutch
here.
he was in the Dutch league, and it was like
Feyenoord,
he was at the Dutch league with Feyenoord. It's like, okay, like brought him in and he wins the league and he has this unbelievable, amazing season, his first
Jurgen's
season.
team.
Yeah, but like that risk actually paid off in the first instance. So maybe it is actually worth maybe considering another risk.
Okay, cool. Alonso comes in, finishes 4th. What happens now? Give him another year.
Why not?
Wow. Hey, I'd rather Slot stay, go through this crazy patch again, then know that he can't do it, then sack him, then
But
go
right
and get
now,
Alonso.
right
and
now
he finishes-
Liverpool aren't fourth.
So wait, if Alonso all the Liverpool fans, if Alonso comes in today and we start next season, what's his expectations? Like
You tell me.
thank you.
What's your expectation? What was your expectation of Arne Slot when he first came in? It wasn't to win the league, was it? But he did it.
Structure the team.
Yeah, so
establish-
it was to
put
structure the
together.
team.
But
So wouldn't if Xabi Alonso was to come in now, wouldn't he be doing the same thing? Because in reality, you've got a kind of disjointed team. We haven't really worked out some people's best positions, how often they can play. Obviously, you've had a lot of players out as well, injured. Wouldn't he be getting the same job in the sense of like, right, we kind of need to fix this mess, put the puzzle back together?
it's not the same no more because
Why?
it's not just pieces leaving.
And then even worse,
This
no,
is
but
Salah left.
Yeah, that's what I'm
This is
saying.
like
It's
the whole
even more so
board.
for. That's what I'm saying. So Arne Slot inherited a really good Jurgen Klopp team that the season before was leading the title race up until the last 5 or 6 weeks, right? He inherited this brilliant team with a Mo Salah in it and a Virgil van Dijk in it. Whereas we could basically be saying Xabi Alonso, yeah, you're not gonna have Mo Salah anymore. Virgil van Dijk has had a kind of a tough season last season. Like we're not really sure on Florian Wirtz. Alexander Isak has had injuries. Like that's a massive. Do you know what I mean? Why wouldn't he get the same level of grace?
As a wise man once said, it's better to know the devil that you do know than the devil that you don't know. You understand what and when all the capabilities of the manager, Like if Slot comes out and talks about all his struggles this season, I reckon it's so justifiable, so understandable about the kind of season we're having. This is a season that it don't happen day in, day out.
Yeah.
Like what happened to Liverpool this season, it does not happen. Like is very. They say, oh,
It
it's the
doesn't
worst.
happen, but
don't
it has happened.
Yes,
That's
so
the thing.
we can't judge it on something like one in a not lifetime, but one in the blue moon things that happen. Like come on, man. Like the even the dressing room. Like Slot will never understand about the dressing room before him. So even him coming into the dressing room, the stuff that happened behind the scenes, Konate's family, like my guy Jota, like all these other things that happen behind the scenes is a very, very hard season to get through. Like imagine playing every home game, 20th minute, everyone's clapping.
Yeah. It's
Like
hard.
every home game, 20th minute, everyone's clapping. It just reminds you, everyone's just reminded of the trauma, you know, and it's just crazy. But it's been a difficult season. That's why people have to give Slot grace, man. They have to give Slot grace because it's been a weird season. No one's ever seen these kind of seasons before.
Yeah.
100%. But
True. Right, we've got 5 minutes left. Let's quickly talk about the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. We've got them tomorrow, the European ones. Quickly, Bosnia versus Italy. What are we saying? Italy finally going to get over this curse.
Because I'm not.
Wales got the smokes,
Wales, Ireland, Northern Ireland. You guys are a
Wales-
disgrace because
Wales
we
got
could have seen the UK and Ireland in the World Cup, and I was so excited for that. And they literally all three of
The
them
one
threw
with
it away.
Dylan's ill.
Yeah.
Dylan's ill now. Yeah.
No, I mean, but I said it on last week's show. No disrespect to Calafio or Italian people per se,
Yeah.
but after those comments that Gattuso, that
was a disgraceful comment.
I should reserve my words carefully for him, but he's not a nice guy. And what he said about African football when Italy were in danger of not qualifying still rings in my ears. So I can't support that. So I would like Bosnia to win. Big up Edin Dzeko, by the way.
Yeah, man.
He's still there, yeah?
Scored again. Yeah, he scored the
against
other day.
Wales. He scored in the 85th or 86th minute against
41
Wales.
years old.
41.
He was there fighting
Is he
Craig
40 or
Bellamy.
41?
He must be about 41 or something.
I know he's in his 40s. I'm not sure he turned 41
He's older to make it, man. Let
But
him,
big up
let him
Edin
go to,
Dzeko.
let him
And
go to the
Bosnia are a
World Cup.
small nation.
Yeah.
And if they could get to the World Cup,
He's
that would be great.
40, I want to say.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
he's
he's
40s. Actually, it might be 40. Okay, he must have just turned 40.
Oh, yeah, I know he's definitely 40.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
big up Edin Dzeko, and I'd love them to go through. Although I've got to be honest and say Italy will probably beat them.
Yeah.
But if it's down
Although
to
they've got a
me,
little
I'd
curse.
rather- yeah.
Italy and playoffs.
But
They've
Gattuso's a thoroughly unpleasant individual, man. And the stuff that he said about African teams, why should
that was
they
a
get
shame.
more places?
If you're Arsenal, would you hand Salah a contract next season, this summer?
What's that got to do with Edin Dzeko and Bosnia?
No, honestly though. Salah's
sign him to Arsenal?
Salah is a free.
We've
would
got
you
two
go for
right
it?
no,
wingers,
because
man.
and also the wages, man. Allow it.
Not only that,
go for
Salah's
it.
on his way to Saudi, man.
Yeah,
Allow
also
him.
the wages, and he wouldn't even want to. I don't.
Yeah,
he
he ain't
wouldn't
gonna
go to
want
a
another Premier
yeah.
League thing.
That'll break my heart.
He's not done, but he's not. You know what I'm saying? He's not
in
the
a
man he
decline.
was. Yeah, let him go and earn his.
No, you not stop doing that. You not
Anyways,
stop doing this.
quick.
Stop.
Czech Republic versus Denmark.
That's an interesting game, man.
Interesting, innit?
Czechia, is it Czech?
That's-
What are they called?
I don't know.
They've got a different pronunciation.
Yeah, they pronounce it different.
But yeah, they were pretty good in that game
Yeah,
against
man.
Ireland, weren't they?
Yeah, man.
So they were down and then they
turned
come
it
back.
around.
I think
Denmark
they've got
were-
a bit of momentum. I'm going to go with them.
Yeah.
Denmark got good players though.
Yeah, although Denmark, they had
Yeah,
a
that's
really
true.
big win, didn't they? They won
they
about
did.
4-1 or something like that. Big up
Interesting game.
Uncle Norgard scoring a goal as well.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go with my boy Norgard, man. Yeah, Denmark, yeah.
FJ, what are you saying?
No, Denmark got good players. I actually like Denmark. Denmark's got good players. I
wouldn't mind them in
think
the
they'll pull off a away win. Away win, yeah?
Yeah, they're away.
Away win.
Kosovo versus Turkey.
You got to go with Turkey, ain't you?
Yeah, I think so as well.
Gotta go with Turkey, 100%.
Oh,
I'd
Degula,
like to see
Keenan
Turkey
Yildiz.
qualify. Whenever Turkey are in those big tournaments, they always
Yeah.
bring a certain flavour to
Yeah,
it.
They've got a great support as well. Do you know what I mean?
And I live in an area that has a lot of Turkish people, and they're nice people.
It's gonna go
Yeah, I
off.
like
Facts.
I love Turkish food.
The Turkish food is.
Yeah, it's gonna go off.
Top
It's
So
gonna
cuisine.
go
yeah,
off.
yeah. I'm going to go with Turkey.
What are you saying?
Turkey.
Yeah, I'm going Turkey. And then the last game, Sweden versus Poland.
Got to go with my boy Victor, man.
Gotta go with my boy Isaac, man. Gotta go with my
I
boy
mean, it's
Isaac.
actually crazy that Sweden are even in this
Yeah,
position, considering that
yeah,
you got Isaac, you got Gyökeres. I know Elanga's had a poor season, but you got Elanga. Like they've actually got,
Got
decent
Bergvall
players.
as well.
Isn't Soloff Swedish? Am I making that up?
Sort of
Oh no,
I
he's
think
Norwegian. He's
Norway,
Norwegian.
Norway.
But like they've actually got decent players.
Big up Victor. He got a hat trick in that last
Yeah.
game, man.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
But then Poland have also got decent players. You've got Lewandowski, you've got Jakub Kiwior in there. Do you know what I mean? You've actually got a good squad. They want to go World Cup as well.
I want Victor to continue his goal scoring form because obviously that helps us as well.
Yeah.
So.
What form?
Because if we keep
scored a hat-trick.
scoring, then
What goal scoring form?
He scored a hat-trick.
Oh, I thought we
Scored a hat-trick for Sweden.
I thought we
Yeah,
talking
he
about
scored a
scoring
hat-trick
goals
for
before that
Sweden.
as well. I thought we talking about scoring goals before that as well.
Obviously, Graham Potter is head coach of Sweden as well. I mean, he got the win. He got
I
an
wouldn't say
important
banning,
win.
but yeah, good luck to
Got an
him.
important win against Thingy. So, what we're all saying that Sweden.
I think
favouring
international
Sweden.
football probably suits him better actually. 'Cause
Yeah, I
as
think
as a Premier League manager, I did not rate him at all.
Actually, quickly as well. Did you guys watch France versus Brazil?
Yeah, I did. I saw the highlights.
Yeah. What
Wicked game.
did you guys quickly think of that?
It's France, that's my team, man.
France
I
is
like-
strong, man.
You know what? Back in
Crazy
the
strong.
day, right, you would never have ever heard me say anything other than Brazil. Growing up as a kid,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Brazil was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they were just.
But nowadays with Brazil, I've kind of fallen out of love with that whole thing. France is if it's not England or Jamaica, then France is the team I like to support.
You just like black players, innit?
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
better.
why not? I like Nigeria as well, but they're too arrogant, so, you know.
Oh, you reckon, yeah?
Anyways,
fine
guys,
line.
we've got to the end of the show. Guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Thank you for all the comments. I just want to big up Laurie.
Thank you.
for
It's a
joining
pleasure.
the live. FJ,
I love
this
you,
is the
Salah,
most
man.
least controversial you've ever been.
I love Salah's. It's been a bad week, man.
International
It's been a bad
break,
week.
innit? But guys, you know what to do as well. Big up everyone on Samsung TV.
Wait. Before I go, Saturday,
Socials.
Man City against Liverpool, FA Cup predictions. Liverpool.
Where is the game being played?
It don't matter.
It's
Home
at
or
the
away.
Etihad, I'm
It don't matter. Home or away.
Man City.
Salah's farewell
They
tour.
beat you twice, though.
Don't matter. This is Salah's farewell tour. So every game from now on, Salah's farewell
Actually,
tour.
you know what? I would like
Right,
to see Liverpool win, but I can't see it.
Farewell tour.
Anyways,
Don't
well,
worry.
we'll see what happens on that. Make sure you're here tomorrow for another live at 5. And peace.
Let's go.
What do you do with yours? I do unlimited football content.
Well, I do unlimited bragging.
Well, I do unlimited swiping right.
Well, I do unlimited doom scrolling.
Well, I do unlimited sliding into the DMs.
Well, I do watching TikTok on the bus without headphones unlimited.
Oh, God.